Thank you, and welcome to day 7. I love that you've made it here for an entire week. Your willingness to learn about AI and see how you can accelerate your purpose is phenomenal. Love that for you. Let's get into today. Today's going to be very short. I want to introduce you to my 5 favorite AI tools. Now, we've talked about several of them, so I'm going to pull up my AI library and we're just going to talk through just a couple. Perfect. So, as I've mentioned before, my favorite AI tool of all time is ChatGPT. There's so much that you can do with chat. You can learn, you can do research, you can create images now. There's so many things. You can put it into different modes, like deep research mode, there's agent mode. There's a lot that can be done. So, if you're going to start with any AI tool, ChatGPT is a great one to start with. As a reminder, the reason I pulled up this document here is you don't just have to use chat, or you don't have to start with chat. If you heard things about chat or you don't want to, Claude, Gemini, Copilot, all of those are also sufficient. And in many cases, for some people, work better. Again, if you are someone who is big on research, Perplexity is your tool. But for the sake of ease and the sake of creativity, I'm going to communicate that my favorite AI tool is ChatGPT. Now, I have 5 total, but that is usually where I start with everything. I expound on my own thoughts, I might brain dump in there, I do a lot. Now, next is going to be Canva AI. Right? So let's show you just a couple of the things that I have built with Canva before. So within Canva, there's multiple AI options. Some of my favorite are linked here in the Canva AI subset, but when you're within a creative design, there are more AI tools within it. But for today's conversation, I'll just talk about these. Design will basically, Canva has all these templates. You can describe your template. It's going to align it with one of their designs and then put in your information. So let's say I want to make a sponsorship deck or I want to make a pitch presentation or a proposal. You can put your information in, hit design, and then vibe code it. Image, as I mentioned before, so you've got ChatGPT, but Canva AI also does imagery. And I love it because it gives me imagery that I can use for email headers, for websites. It has given me imagery that I can use as stock photography. I love their flat lays. I've used designs like this in my social media post. So this is Canva AI. This is an example of a prompt, a minimalist digital workspace scene, AI interface projected in air. And I probably pulled this from something else because I don't typically type like this. Um, but yeah, what does this one say? B-roll of someone in style it. Like this may have been me. There were some spelling errors. But it doesn't matter whether it's you, whether it's simple, whether it's deep and detailed, has a lot more words. The question is, what is it that you need to create? What is the utilization that you need it for? You can do it. What do you need to do it for? Remember mindset, day 2? This is where that comes in because if you're creative, it's like, oh my God, I can do all these things. Well, stay locked in on what your intention in your business is. So this is Canva AI, and that's just the images that you can create, right? And there are all of these styles. So you can choose fashion, you can do bokeh or I don't know, bokeh. Bokeh is what I think it is. Bokeh. Cinematic, illustration, pop art. So you can do all of these styles for your imagery and be very specific. And of course, you can choose the size. So we've talked about designs, which is going to pull a template and populate your information for you. We've talked about image, which what do you need? because you can create that now. You can also start up a document. You're going to specify the type. Is it a blog post? Like, let's say you want to write a blog post about AI or what you're learning in your business or what you're wearing to school that week based on whatever. You can now come into Canva and basically select what you want. And it's going to it's going to pull from his best practices and organize your thought process that way. We have the vibe code. Now, this is where I made several of the things I've shown you. I haven't even shown you guys my content creator bingo. Okay, so content creator bingo, 20 versions in. That means I've done 20 iterations, and it looks like this. Now, I do have that as a website, so, and because I love not just having a website, if you join me on day 6, we talked about tech stacking. So I showed you my GPTs, but I also did the same thing with my bingo game. So I'll hit start batching. This right here, though, on this page, this is what I made in Canva. And it's totally interactive. So I can hit which size board I want, a 3x3 or a 5x5. Oh, I'm not sharing that tab. Okay, let me scroll back up. So this is what is in Canva. This is literally what I made in my Canva AI. So share this tab, right? That's my left side where I was prompting it. 20 variations later, I ended up here. And this is interactive. I can choose colors, right? And then when I liked what I had built, I was able to publish it. Well, I using a design slash publish are similar. Using design means you can update it further, and publish means you can make it a website or a link, which is what I did over here. And so again, totally made in Canva, very much interactive. I can choose my board size, 3x3 or 5x5. And I loaded in all of these trends, these content trends. And essentially someone can create their content strategy by playing bingo, right? And it's like, okay, how do I improve my visibility? How do I step outside? How do I be creative this week? You come to my Batch Better Content Creator Bingo and you run you a card. When you do so, you want to take note of your Spark code. And this is all things that I put into the back end of Canva, vibe coded, and they built it. Now, if I click on play my card, I can literally click on all of these, the boxes in which we're making the trends for. And if I click on all of the boxes, boom. If I click on all of the block boxes, it's actually going to populate a certificate and let me know that the board is complete. And so just a way to celebrate that you are making progress in your content. Made with Canva. All right, so I think we've established that for a lot of reasons, Canva is my go-to. Hold on, this might need to get refreshed. Here we go. Canva is my go-to. No, chat is my go-to, and Canva is full of amazing things that you can do, create, design. And if you only use those two, I mean, you're ahead of the game. So familiarize yourself with a learning model or large learning model, such as ChatGPT or Claude, and then find something that helps you with your design work. Canva is my go-to recommendation for graphic design, especially with the AI tools that are now embedded. But Adobe has this as well. CapCut has AI embedded now. So totally full of options if you're going to choose an AI tool that allows you to create designs. Now, that was ChatGPT, and then there was Canva. I also love NotebookLM. NotebookLM. This is a Google product, and I've shown you several Google products, but this is a Google product, and I respect it so highly because you can put your information in, like your resume or past work you've done, or you can put a bunch of recipes or even receipts if you need to be mindful of your taxes, and it'll store that information for you, but you can also query it. So I think it's easier for me, ooh, excuse me, for me to show. So let me show you what Notebook LM looks like. So this is inside of my Notebook LM. I have several different notebooks depending on what my goals are. And I can do something like open up one of my notebooks. And these are my sources here on the left side. These are things that I uploaded into the notebook. From here, I can ask, and that's what I meant by querying. So if I said, give me one interesting fact or stat, it's going to consult, as it said, my sources. So anything I only uploaded into this document. So it's not asking the web, it's not asking all of Facebook and the followers that we have. It's specifically asking whatever I uploaded. So the one interesting fact in all of the information I put was when Alex Hermosi launched his book, it broke the Guinness World Record for the fastest selling nonfiction book in 24 hours. It sold between 2.7 and 3 million copies, generating approximately $100 million in revenue during that window. Now, while this information may be available online, I'm not saying you can't find it. The way it synthesized that information, right? I didn't say, tell me the coolest thing about Alex Hermosi. I didn't say I wanted to know what broke the world's record, the Guinness World Record for the fastest XYZ. So it pulled from like 20 to 30 different uploads that I've given it, one interesting fact. I didn't give it any context. I didn't say go in this direction. It pulled from things that I uploaded and it spit out something that matched that criteria. So you're able to query your own uploads. And that can be a research article, that can be your writing, like if you're making a book and you put your chapters in there and you're like, which chapter is the best? Which chapter needs some more work? Notebook LM is a fantastic tool. Now, what is not worth sleeping on in Notebook LM is what you can do with your sources. Over here on the right, I have the studio. This is a magic studio. This is where your dreams get activated and ignited for real. I would love to show you every single thing, but that's a little bit of a lot. So what I'll show you is that it made, oh, that's client work. We don't need to show you my client work. Interesting. I did just start this the other day, so I don't actually have that many documents. So let's do this one instead. Engineered influence. Yes. Okay. I took that. Remember how I had all those sources? Now, this is a different notebook, different sources, different sets of information, and a lot more of my information is in here as well. This is not a source. Notebook LM, and they're telling you right there at the bottom. Notebook LM, sorry, right here. Can you see my cursor? Yes, you can. Notebook LM created this deck, and it is fantastic. Now, the information in the deck is my information, as in the research that I put together about content, about what works, about all these things that I want to put into the methodologies that I'm building. And it put a cohesive selling presentation together for me. And I did give it the prompts. I said, make it, I want fashionable, iconic Black women. I wanted my color palette right now is like dark, deep purple, like a royal. And yeah, it took that information and it made the presentation that you see here. And so this is Notebook LM, a lot of possibilities, a lot of possibilities. Let's share this tab instead. Next up on the list is going to be Base 44. Base 44 is where we can build apps. One of the coolest apps that I have had the pleasure of building that's public facing, because I have several apps that are more like client facing. So when I work with someone, we can log in and we can manage the data, like the content flows and things like that. This one is public facing, totally no logins needed, not a client specific app at all. This one, I am curating a list of trends and helping people reverse engineer it. And then you can come in here, you can comment, you can like it. These are just trends. So it's not a social feed. I have to manually go in and update it. But I built an app using vibe coding, meaning it only took me 2 to 3 days to build what you see here. And it has functionality such as this is my clean, this is cool, later at night. Creator's Cut is where I went deeper. I brought in like how to do it. One of the videos, I broke down an actual trend. Don't know how to use the site? I have a FAQ page. How do I use this? How can this resource benefit me? And on and on and on. And so this is something I'm going to keep adding to, but the base is there. So I have my MVP. It exists in the world. There's a link to it. I can share that link with you and you could see it. And I made this in base 44 in days. I made this in days with base 44. And it becomes a lead magnet because if you recommend a trend and put your information right here, your email, your name, I can contact you and give you more information about the trend, but also you can be in my funnel. And that's what I am going to be migrating to as far as an interactive lead magnet for me. I want to populate it with a few more trends, but base 44 allowed me to take an idea and I added the features and the functionalities that I wanted, the words that I wanted, the videos that I wanted, and I did that in days. I did that in days. So base 44, Canva, ChatGPT, NotebookLM, and my last is going to be Automate Your Hustle. Automate Your Hustle is my CRM. Within my CRM, I'm able to do automations and things like that. Let me see if there's a website I want to show you. I just built this website. It's still technically in the works, but it's a process and it's getting there. But what is AI enabled or automation enabled is the fact that the base of this site, there's an AI builder that allowed me to, on the back end, say, I wanted this to be structured like this, change this. I could also make manual updates. So I use Automate Your Hustle as my CRM. If you already have a CRM, the question to you is, one, what all does it do? Does it have AI in it yet? Do your automations cost you extra? Things like that. So my CRM, it's all included. I have an annual subscription. I'm able to generate leads here. I'm able to follow up via email without having to manually do it, but I have to set it up first. But I love that it has areas within it. I can set up my automations, like my funnels, via AI, my websites via AI. And when I'm really in a level to my business where I'm entertaining a lot of leads at such high volume, there are AI agents within my CRM. So Automate Your Hustle makes number 5 on my list of my top 5 AI tools. And these are just my top 5, right? This directly aligns with my business model and the things that I need to do on a daily basis. But this list has maybe 15 and there are so many more things on the list. I didn't even put Lovable. I've shown you guys Lovable and I haven't even put that on the list yet. So I just want you to remember, like social media or like the amount of browsers there are on the website, AI is vast and the possibilities are endless. The question is, what do you want to build? What do you want to see in the world? How do you want to curate digital experiences? How do you want to accelerate processes and productivity with AI? Thank you guys for joining me for day 7. I'm excited to see you for day 8. We'll get into more of Learn AI with me. See you tomorrow. Bye.